What is up, everyone? Just here to do a little review on Sword Art Online episode 13 and what went down in this episode with how awesome it is, you know? No, just just kidding. I mean, the first part of this episode was pretty good. Kinda. So we start off with Kirito and Death Gun fighting. And this whole thing of, oh, he's getting beat up and everything, and Death Gun goes on about how he doesn't know his name because Kirito, like, didn't want to know his name in Sword Art Online. And, and it was just like, okay, like, he doesn't know his name, so he, like, literally can't beat him. And he has to, like, so then Kirito goes, I gotta throw him off guard or whatever. And it's just like, okay, like, let's see how this works out, you know? This is okay so far. You know, the fighting's pretty good. So Kirito's getting pretty beat up by this whole ordeal with his sword. And I don't know how it's gonna go. Like, I'm just like, oh, okay. Then we switch over to, oh yeah, freaking, waifu. Freaking waifu. Yeah, she's there in the hospital with Kirito. And also with the little girl or whatever they have, I don't know, their daughter, and that's in the game. And they're just like, oh, let's hold hands with him, and then he'll be able to feel us, and then he'll be okay. And it's just like, oh, okay. So then we get enough of that. Then we go back to the game. And then we get this whole new thing going on. And I'm just like, okay. Then we get a little, like, flashback to Sword Art Online, and it's crazy. It's like we see this flashback of Sword Art Online of Kirito. He thinks back, and he sees when they're going to be when they're going to be going after Laughing Coffin, and he sees the board of all the Laughing Coffin members, like I guess it's like the elite members or something, and he looks, and then he sees the guy with red eyes or whatever on the board, and he's just like, oh my gosh, like, I know you, I know your name or whatever. It's just like, what? This what? This whole time you, like, knew, like you had to know, you had to be about 2 feet away from him to see, like, his red eyes, like, in battle, and, like, be like, oh my gosh, like, I know your name. So it's just like, oh my gosh, like, he's freaking Jesus. So he's like, I know your name, and then he says his name, and then Death Gun gets all like, oh my gosh, like, what, you know my name? And he is just like, what? Okay, so Death Gun gets all, like, befuzzled in all this, and then suddenly Shane comes out with, like, a gun. Like, I don't know, she has, like, her sniper, but she doesn't have a scope on it. I don't know how she's aiming this thing. And Kirito goes on like, oh, she's using all her might to aim this gun, and this is my only chance. And then he goes, and then he cuts Death Gun in half. And this is like, yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. He, like, cuts him in half, and then Death Gun is still alive when he's cut in half, and he's just like, oh, it's not over. Oh, yeah, I will let everyone know. It's just like, what? No. What are you talking about? Like, it's just like, you crazy. You crazy. And then, Kirito walks away like Jesus and wins the day. And I'm just like, okay. So this next part is just, after this part, is just kind of stupid. So this next part here is where it kind of tips off on what is considered to be a good episode, to where Shino and Kirito are standing there, and they're just like, okay, we defeated Death Gun, but we have to finish the tournament, but I don't want to fight, but then Shino doesn't want to fight him, because she's just like, oh, it's not fair to fight you after you just fought Death Gun. So it's like, oh, okay, I guess and then, like, character doesn't know what to do, so then Shinon is just like, okay, this is what we can do, and then she puts a grenade in his hand, and then he goes all, like, crazy, like, he's like, what are you doing, and then she's like, there can be 2 winners, and then she hugs him with the grenade, and then they both blow up, and it's just like, oh, yeah, freaking Shino and Kirito both won the tournament, because they both died at the same time, and they're the last 2 people in the game, and I was like, oh, yay, yay. No, it's a big celebration. I thought when they showed the outside of the fireworks and all that, that was pretty good. That was good, I thought, but this of them both winning was kind of like, I wanted, like, a twist of, like, like, she would shoot him or something, like, she wouldn't take his, like, crap anymore or something like that. But no. But then it goes to, so then we see that Kirito, so while they're talking with the grenade or whatever, she tells him his address. I mean, yeah, she tells him his address and everything, so, and she wakes up, and she's checking the room to see, like, if there's the other death gun in the house, and she is just like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so stupid, or whatever, and then she hears a knock on the door, and she's like, oh my gosh, like, this could be Death Gun, man, this could be Death Gun, and oh no, it's her best friend, and it's just like, oh, it's her best friend, the creeper, who likes her, and she just kind of writes him off, and as he I mean, we all know who he is. Like, we're like, it shows, like, we know in, like, the first, like, 2 episodes of this whole anime of, like, who this guy's gonna be. We know he's, like, part of this death kind of thing. And we see him, and he's just like, oh, he goes a little crazy. Like, you see, like, his face, and he's just like, oh, like, a little crazy face. And you're just like, oh, okay. And then he jumps on her and everything, and he says he loves her and everything, and it's just like, oh my, it's a repeat of the last part of season 1, with the whole pervert wanting to get in a girl's pants again, and this time there's no tentacles, but oh no, we just get the whole, oh, I'll love you forever, and then he, like, so it's just so bad, and then then he brings out a syringe, and then she's just like, oh my gosh, you're like the other Death Gun, because he's just like, if you don't move, I'm going to kill you with this, like, don't move, I'm going to kill you with this if you try to get away. And then she goes into this, it's just so bad, like, she goes into this other state of, like, her mind, and she's just like, I just don't want to deal with anything, I just, like, I don't like this, and then her avatar from her game is in her mind, and she's just like, we've always been trying to do stuff apart, and for ourselves, why don't we try to work together and fight for somebody else, because she doesn't know if Kirito's gonna come over or not, so she's like, oh, I gotta save him. So then it's kind of cool, she, like, starts kicking him, and then everything, and then she runs to the door, and, like, she has all those locks on the door, if you don't remember from a few episodes back, because she's so paranoid. So she tries to unlock the door, but she can't, and I've got the creeper boy coming along, and he grabs her, and he's just like, oh, and he's just like, and then we get the weirdest face ever with him, like, this repeating her name, Asada-san, over and over again, into the camera, like, it's just so bad, like, it's just like, oh my gosh, like, why do we have to have perverts on this show every time? Like, it's just, oh, like, you could have made Asada-san so cool in this series, or Shino and whatever. And it's like you just ruined it. Like, she was supposed to be awesome, and she just turns into another damsel in distress because who comes along right at the end? Oh yeah, it's Kirito. He runs into the door, knees him in the face, and tells Shinon to run. So overall, I think I would give this episode like a 3 out of 5 out of 5, honestly, because the beginning part was cool, but then it kind of slid off in the middle, and then it really got stupid at the end with the whole, oh, another pervert, great, oh, wow. Like, so, that's my score for Sword Art Online Season 2, Episode 13. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.